ladies, be that, be ladies, be modest. Don't compromise your character. It is good to be here in Chicago.
I was disgusted the whole time. That's all I have to say about it, really.
That exchange is actually in reference to Erika then having sent this 15-year-old to have photos taken. So Erika having done this is completely and utterly creepy. It's creepy. It makes no sense.
Erika Kirk is catching serious backlash right now, and the situation is getting messy fast. What was supposed to be a confident appearance at a Chicago high school turned into a moment that had people in the room reacting in ways she likely didn't expect. She walked in looking ready to win the crowd over, planning to promote a brand new Turning Point USA chapter and rally students behind the idea, but the atmosphere shifted quickly once the speech started. Students in the room didn't exactly sit quietly and nod along. Some laughed during parts of the presentation, others looked clearly unimpressed, and the overall vibe felt tense. Instead of the enthusiastic response she may have hoped for, the crowd seemed skeptical from the start. Teen audiences today are outspoken and already plugged into social media debates, so they tend to come in with strong opinions of their own.
It's learned in the Podesta emails, as we learned in the Einstein emails. When you're talking about pizza, you're not always talking about pizza. The 15-year-old girl that 25-year-old Erika Franzwe is striking up a relationship.
But the controversy didn't stop with an awkward speech. Around the same time, online discussions began spreading about leaked messages that people claim involve Erika and a teenager. Those messages circulating on social media include allegations about unusual conversations and mentions of gifts and a possible photo shoot situation. It's important to note that these claims are still being debated online and have not been confirmed as proven facts. Still, the timing has people paying close attention. When a public figure shows up at schools while rumors like this are circulating, parents and community members naturally start asking questions. The moment that began as a recruiting visit quickly turned into a bigger conversation, and now the spotlight around Erika Kirk just got a lot brighter.
First and foremost, I just am so grateful for each and every one of you. This is very bittersweet. This is not something I would ever envisioned, obviously, for many reasons.
We need to break down what actually happened at Genoa Kingston High School, because the footage from that event had people online replaying it over and over. From the moment Erika Kirk stepped inside that building, the energy in the room looked tense. Even through the screen, viewers said the vibe felt uncomfortable, like something just wasn't clicking between the speaker and the students watching. If you missed the context, Erika was there as part of something called the History Rocks Tour. Reports say the tour has been promoted alongside education-focused outreach efforts, with public figures connected to federal education initiatives, including Linda McMahon. That connection immediately caught attention online because people started debating what role politics might play in school events like this. The appearance also tied into Turning Point USA and its student-focused programs. Specifically, the event promoted something called Turning Point Club America, which is presented as a student club encouraging civic engagement and discussions around conservative viewpoints. On paper, it's framed as a way for students to get involved in political conversations and learn about public policy, but critics online argue the situation felt more complicated. Some believe events like this bring strong political messaging into school spaces, while supporters say students should hear different viewpoints and decide for themselves. That debate alone had people paying close attention before Erika even started speaking. Then came the speech itself. As soon as Erika stepped on stage, many viewers said the mood looked stiff and overly scripted. She tried to connect with the students, even dressing in a more casual, youthful style to match the audience. But instead of making things feel relaxed, some people felt the moment came off awkward. The crowd didn't seem fully engaged, and the atmosphere in that room felt uneasy almost the entire time.
He really lived his life in a way where he was not afraid to speak. He chose to use his voice for something so powerful. And I want you guys to understand that every decision will make a mark on your soul.
Now, this is the moment when people watching the footage say the real red flags started flashing. Early in the speech, Erika Kirk brought up her late husband, Charlie Kirk, telling the audience that Charlie chose to use his voice. On the surface, honoring a spouse sounds respectful, and many people understand why she would reference him during a public appearance. But critics online say the timing raised eyebrows. Some observers claim mentioning Charlie so often during tense moments can come across like a shield whenever criticism starts building. That's the interpretation being debated across social media, especially when the conversation already involves her leadership role at Turning Point USA. Then, another issue entered the discussion. Various reports over the years have mentioned that employees within certain organizations, including political nonprofits, sometimes sign NDAs, non-disclosure agreements, when they join. Critics pointed out the contrast between that reality and the message Erika was delivering on stage about speaking up and using your voice. That difference in messaging had people talking online. And the moment didn't stop there. During the speech, she also told the students not to compromise their character and to never do anything they wouldn't want splashed across the front page of a newspaper. For some viewers, that landed as powerful advice. For others, watching the broader controversy unfold, it only added more fuel to the ongoing debate. On paper, that kind of advice is solid. Telling young people to protect their character and think carefully about their actions is something most people would agree with. But when those words come from someone who is currently surrounded by public controversy, the irony doesn't go unnoticed. Even a younger audience can sense when the message and the moment don't fully line up.
Don't compromise your character. You guys might think it's brave to go along with the crowd. You guys might think it's brave to laugh at certain things that aren't funny. But just know that people are watching, and one day you might be in a position of leadership that people will look back on your life 12, 13, 15 years, and they'll say, wow, you made those choices, you made those decisions. Yeah, in those moments. But my aunt used to tell me, never do something that you don't want on the front page of the newspaper. Live your life in that way.
High school students today aren't disconnected from what's happening in the world. They live online, scrolling the same headlines, watching the same viral clips, and seeing the same debates everyone else is talking about. So when Erika Kirk stood there delivering those polished talking points, many in the crowd already had context in their minds.
The way that you live your life every single day, it matters. Ladies, be that, be ladies, be modest. Live your life in a way that's honoring your parents.
And then the atmosphere in the room started to get even more uncomfortable. As the speech continued, people in the audience could be seen exchanging looks, whispering to each other, and in some cases, quietly laughing under their breath. It wasn't the reaction you'd expect from a crowd fully on board with the message. The energy felt skeptical, almost like the audience was mentally fact-checking every line in real time. Erika tried to lean deeper into a motivational tone, talking about leadership, courage, and standing firm in your beliefs. But instead of bringing the crowd closer, it seemed to widen the disconnect. The applause was scattered, the responses felt hesitant, and long pauses of awkward silence filled the room. And the timing of the appearance didn't help calm things down either. With ongoing online conversations about past allegations and leaked messages still circulating, critics argue that visiting a school environment during that moment naturally raised questions among viewers and community members watching the situation unfold. Supporters say Erika has every right to speak wherever she's invited. That argument comes up a lot whenever public figures step into schools or youth spaces. But critics say the optics matter, especially when controversy is already swirling around someone's name. When a public personality walks into a room full of teenagers, people are naturally going to look closer at every word and every message. That's just the reality of today's media environment. By the time the event wrapped up, many observers felt the mood in the auditorium looked tense rather than excited. Instead of generating hype for a new student club connected to Turning Point USA, the moment seemed to spark more debate than enthusiasm. And once that sense of doubt creeps in, it can be difficult to shift the narrative back. Then Erika changed the focus of her speech and began addressing the young women in the audience directly. She encouraged them to dress modestly and to respect their parents. On the surface, that kind of advice isn't unusual. Plenty of families and communities promote those same values every day, and for many listeners, it may have sounded like fairly traditional guidance. But critics online quickly pointed out what they see as a contradiction. Erika has previously appeared in modeling work and reality-style media appearances, something that has been widely discussed on social media. Because of that background, some viewers feel surprised when she now positions herself as a strong voice for traditional expectations aimed at teenage girls.
Erika Kirk came out. She said, "We're in the Chicagoland area."
It is good to be here in Chicago. I, again, am so grateful to be here because this is where it all started for Charlie.
I was disgusted the whole time. That's all I have to say about her.
That contrast is where accusations of hypocrisy began spreading across comment sections. Some critics question how her public persona has evolved, while supporters argue she's simply grown over time and is using her platform in a new way. Either way, the conversation around Erika Kirk is clearly far from over. Detractors say the messaging just doesn't match the image, and that gap is exactly what's driving the loud debate around Erika Kirk right now. The divide isn't just happening in comment sections or social media threads either. The tension spilled out into the real world, and the scene outside the school made that impossible to ignore. While the event was happening inside Genoa Kingston High School, protesters gathered outside the building, holding signs, chanting, and demanding answers. It wasn't a quiet disagreement on the sidelines. It looked like a full demonstration unfolding right in front of the campus gates. Anyone arriving or leaving could see the situation playing out in real time. Some attendees later said the atmosphere felt uncomfortable and intense. Instead of a typical school assembly or guest speaker visit, the day started to feel more like a political flashpoint. When a public figure connected to an organization like Turning Point USA shows up during a moment of national debate, reactions tend to come fast and loud. That's where the larger argument kicked in. Critics say high schools shouldn't become the stage for heated national political battles, especially when students are still forming their views. Supporters push back on that idea, saying young people deserve to hear different perspectives and decide for themselves. The contrast between what was happening inside and outside the building was striking. Inside the auditorium, Erika was delivering a carefully prepared speech about leadership, values, and personal responsibility. Outside, protesters were raising their voices and expressing deep frustration. It felt like two completely different worlds colliding right outside of one school building. By the end of the day, this wasn't just another school club launch. The moment turned into a full-blown flashpoint. Whether people walked away supportive or skeptical, one thing was obvious. Nobody could say the event was boring. The reaction was loud, the atmosphere was tense, and the conversation around Erika Kirk only got bigger after it was over. From Erika's perspective, the appearance looked like it was meant to signal a start of a bold new chapter. The branding around the event suggested energy, leadership, and the expansion of youth involvement connected to Turning Point USA. But critics online said the speech didn't land the way it was intended. Instead of feeling inspiring, some viewers argued it felt more like a carefully managed response to growing controversy. What really intensified the debate was the timing. Just days before the school appearance, screenshots began circulating across social media, claiming to show old messages from the early 2010s. According to posts being shared online, the messages were between Erika and a woman identified in those posts as Jill Falcon. The exchanges are said to date back to around 2013 and 2014, when Erika was in her mid-20s and reportedly involved in beauty pageants and casting work.
That last weird text exchange was about, the one where Erika tells her not to drink and to suck her stomach in tonight, wherever they're going tonight. People assume that they had gone somewhere together, but no, that exchange is actually in reference to Erika then having sent this 15-year-old to have photos taken. Insane. She sent this 15-year-old to have photos taken. She's helping her because she's just so beautiful get into maybe some modeling That's at least how she presented it to her. So after telling her how beautiful and perfect her lips were, she then sets her up with a photographer, a friend of Erika's. Erika, she says, arranged the entire thing. This person she had only met once, then after maybe love bombing her, you describe it, then sends her to meet up with this male photographer. And Jillian said that this photographer was kind of creepy.
The details surrounding those messages have been heavily debated online, especially regarding the age and context of the individuals involved. None of the claims spreading across social media have been confirmed through official findings, but the discussion has still fueled intense reactions. Some screenshots being shared online include lines where Erika allegedly complimented Jill's appearance, writing things like, "You have the most stunning features." Critics interpret the tone as flirtatious, while supporters argue the messages may be taken out of context. Either way, the resurfaced posts added another layer of scrutiny right as the school event was unfolding.
She's trying to remember his name. She says she remembers it began with an R, and he was kind of shorter, chubbier. And yeah, I'd say, yeah, Jillian, that's pretty creepy. Any photographer who is taking photos of a 15-year-old without their parents' consent is a creep. I would also similarly say that any person who is arranging for photographs to be taken of a 15-year-old girl without explicit permission from that person's mother is a total creep. So Erika, having done this, is completely and utterly creepy. It's creepy. It makes no sense.
Your eyes, your lips, your skin, you're absolutely beautiful. Those are the lines critics keep reposting again and again as the debate continues to spread online. Screenshots circulating across social media claim those words appeared in old messages connected to Erika Kirk, and that is exactly what pushed the conversation into overdrive. According to posts being shared online, the situation didn't stop with text exchanges. Some users claim that birthday gifts, including chocolates, may have been sent at one point, and that the two individuals eventually met in person. These claims are based on screenshots and posts that have been widely circulated, though the full context of those interactions has not been officially confirmed. One tweet attributed to Jill in those circulating screenshots reportedly read, "You're honestly perfect. It was great meeting you." That single line has been reposted across multiple platforms and has kept the discussion alive. Once those images started spreading, the internet went into full detective mode. People began analyzing every message, every emoji, and every word choice like it was a puzzle waiting to be solved. Some viewers say the tone in the messages reads as playful or complimentary. Others argue the language feels inappropriate given the circumstances people are debating online. That disagreement sparked a heated back and forth almost overnight. Critics argue that individuals working in areas like modeling, media, or casting, especially in their mid-20s, carry a responsibility to be cautious in how they communicate, particularly when interacting with younger people. Supporters, however, say the screenshots may be missing context and point out that no verified findings have confirmed wrongdoing. What really intensified the reaction was the timing. With those online allegations still circulating, Erika's appearance at a high school immediately drew more attention, and suddenly the spotlight around the entire situation became impossible to ignore. Naturally, the situation started raising eyebrows everywhere. When moments like this unfold, families begin asking questions, people start connecting dots, and suddenly the optics become a huge part of the story. What started as a single school speech that didn't land well quickly turned into something much bigger. Now the discussion is about trust, judgment, and how quickly past actions or rumors can resurface when someone is in the public spotlight. And once that conversation begins, it rarely fades quietly. Online debates keep building, with new posts, reactions, and commentary appearing almost every hour. At that point, the story isn't just about one event anymore. It becomes about the broader reputation of the person involved. But another claim circulating online has drawn even stronger reactions. Some posts allege that years ago, Erika may have arranged a photo session involving the individual mentioned in the messages that have been spreading across social media. According to those online claims, the situation supposedly involved a meeting related to photography work without a parent present. It's important to note that these claims come from screenshots and online discussions and have not been verified through confirmed reports. Still, the allegation alone is what has many people paying close attention. Critics argue that adults working in media or casting environments should be extremely cautious when interacting with younger individuals. Others say the online posts could be missing context and warn against jumping to conclusions without verified facts. Either way, the debate has grown louder with every passing day. That's exactly why the backlash has been so intense. Across social media, emotions are running high, and some users have even used very serious terms to describe what they believe might have been happening. Those accusations remain online claims and allegations, not confirmed findings, but they've fueled non-stop debate across comment sections, live streams, and reaction videos. Another layer adding heat to the conversation involves Erika's past projects and public associations that critics have already questioned over the years. Some online discussions bring up initiatives connected to international charity or outreach efforts, including something referred to in posts as the Romanian Angels Initiative. Critics say those past connections deserve scrutiny, while supporters argue that many of these claims are being exaggerated or misunderstood. Now, with all of that controversy circulating online, Erika appearing at schools and promoting student clubs tied to Turning Point USA has made the contrast feel even sharper for some observers. For critics, the optics feel unsettling. For supporters, it's simply someone continuing their work despite heavy criticism. Social media has also pushed the conversation into extreme territory, with some users spreading wild theories about motives and influence. Those claims remain speculation, but they show just how loud and divided the public reaction has become. Now, I want to hear from you. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Like this video, share it with someone who's been following the story, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the next breakdown. I'll catch you on the next one.